United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilmember Irby? Here. Councilmember Page?
Here.
Councilmember Wassinger? Here. Councilmember Gray?
Present.
Councilmember Dolan?
Here.
Councilmember Tracus?
Present.
Councilmember Harder?
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
We have no bid openings tonight, so we'll move to communications. Oh, great.
I move for approval of the journal of the meeting of June 26, 2018.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Journal's approved. Now we'll move to communications.
Mr. Chair, there are no tax compromises or zoning matters this evening, so we'll move to road and bridge matters. Under road and bridge matters, item number 1, all districts.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Moving on to other communications, Mr. Chair, item number 1, 7th District.
Receive, file, and refer to the Department of Planning, County Assessor, Department of Revenue, Board of Election Commissioners, and the County Counselor.
So ordered.
Item number 3. I'm sorry, item number 2.
Receive, file, and the County Councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 4. And that will be the order.
Item number 5, 6th District.
Receive and file, please.
So ordered.
Item number 6, 6th District.
Receive, file, and the proposed record plat be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 7, 6th District.
Receive, file, and the change of owner be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 8, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th Districts.
Receive and file.
So ordered.
Item number 9.
This item is the spending for fiscal year to date. This is an item that we wanted to have a hearing on today, but we were unable to get together with our budget director or the transportation chair. Is Paul here today? Paul Friday. We did have some questions about some of these items. Dan, could you come up and answer a question for us?
Mr. Chair, I suggested if Mr. Dreesworth's not comfortable responding to questions that we hold the matter until we have time to discuss it with Mr. Kreidler.
That's the will of the council. We'll do that. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dan. Item number 9 will be.
I'm sorry.
Item number 9 will be held on the agenda, and that will be the order.
Can the motion be receive, file, and hold on the order of business?
Receive, file, and hold on the order of business. Item number. Go ahead.
Item number 10.
Item number 10, another item we would hope to discuss with the budget director. This demonstrates the budget transfers to date that are allowed to be made between departments by the county executive. And there are several transfers in here that are interesting. Is our parks director here? Gary? No? Gary, there's and if you're not prepared to answer this, we can hold off on it, but you're usually have an answer for us. Can you explain the transfer from salaries to equipment that it's like it's about 600, can't read that, Paul, small print. $900,000, does that sound right?
Yes.
Can you tell us what that's about?
Yeah, we review our expenditures on a monthly basis, typically due to vacancies and due to our inability to fill positions for summer labor. There's additional funds available. So what we do is transfer that money into typically capital equipment or capital projects in order to get some work done.
So the transfer from salaries to capital equipment is a common occurrence?
Yeah, especially if it's coming from the temporary employment account for seasonal employees.
So during the budget process, we had discussed perhaps bonding for some of the capital equipment instead of paying cash for that. And you had indicated you were supportive of that idea.
Yes.
So you're still supportive of that idea?
Well, as you can see, we kind of took care of the problem ourselves by doing the transfer. The problem with bonding is that you have to have a dedicated source of revenue on an ongoing basis to pay off the bond. If, for example, we were fortunate enough to fill all of our seasonal jobs and to reduce the length of time we have vacancies for year-round employees, we wouldn't have the money to sustain payments on the issuance of a bond. So kind of spend on a year-to-year basis from a windfall from the lack of ability to fill those jobs.
But you told me this was a typical occurrence in the summer, that you typically transfer money from salaries to buy
right.
capital equipment.
Right.
So if it were budgeted as less money in salaries because you would typically not use that money and was budgeted as a revenue stream instead, then we could be bonding for this.
Right. We typically have problems filling our summer jobs, believe it or not. How much we have annually varies.
Are you planning on any layoffs in the Parks Department next year, or do you?
No.
So you just plan on letting some jobs remain unfilled?
Well, right now, if I recall, we only have 2 vacancies. One for an historian and one for a maintenance supervisor. We just filled 4 positions last week. So it's our goal to keep all of our year-round positions filled and on a timely basis.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Item number 10, the motion is to receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 11, all districts.
Receive and file, and that will be the order. I would like to recognize that this report demonstrates that we're receiving 1% interest on the balance of our investment account, and that if we would proceed as in years past, this money could use to be paid down part of our bi-state Metrolink debt, which we're currently paying at 6% interest. And we're missing an opportunity in that space between 6% and 1% to dramatically reduce our debt and save millions of dollars for the county. And this is a missed opportunity to not redirect this investment account towards some of our long-term debt as we've done in the past. And I'd like to see that revisited. Receive and file item number 11.
Item number 12, all districts.
Receive, file, and county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
Item number 13.
Receive and file, same motion for item number 14, and that will be the order.
Item number 15, 6th district.
Receive, file, and refer to the Department of Transportation and Public Works, the Department of Planning, and the County Council.
So ordered.
Item number 16, 4th district.
Receive, file, and the agreement be approved as recommended.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 17, 3rd district.
This is the transparency and oversight bill that we recently passed for the boards and commissions, which the county executive has sent back to us with a veto, noting his concern regarding charter objections. I spent quite a bit of time with the legal department to prepare that bill, I do not believe it violates the charter in any way, shape, or form, and will help improve how we operate and oversight for appointments. So I'm going to move that we receive and file and shall substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 111 pass, the objections of the county executive thereto notwithstanding. It was passed unanimously by this council, too.
Second.
Would you tell us again before we vote, Councilwoman Wassinger, what this bill does?
The bill allows the council to approve any county executive appointments for boards and commissions that are created by ordinance. And in addition to that, it also stipulates that all boards and commissions will publish their agendas, the meeting minutes, and the information from the board and commission meeting on our website, so it's readily available to the public. It's a transparency bill, and it really is much needed and will allow the public much better access to what our boards and commissions do on a regular basis.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on the motion of whether substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 111 shall pass the objections of the county executive thereto notwithstanding, there are 7 ayes.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 111 is finally passed.
Item number 18, Second District.
This bill allows the county council to retain and hire a separate legal counsel to represent us before the circuit court in the defense of our lawfully passed charter amendments that are now on the ballot. The charter amendments provide greater transparency and greater oversight of budget decisions in county government. They place campaign contribution limits on contributors to campaigns for county office. The charter amendments also restrict campaign contributions to candidates for county office while contracts to those contributors are being considered. The charter amendments also allow us to have our own attorney and better define independent contract work by members of the county council, which if not corrected, would make it very difficult for anyone who is an attorney to run for office in St. Louis County. The need for these charter amendments became obvious when we were in court and our county attorney appeared as summoned by the court to defend the county council's position, and instead, to my disappointment, argued against the county council position, which reinforced to me and everyone there the need for the county council to have their own attorney. With that, I move that we receive and file. I move that shall Bill number 134 pass, the objection of the county executive thereto notwithstanding.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
No, and I'd like to explain, I've explained this in the past, and I will continue to, whether it's reported or not. We do have a county councilor's office that represents the county council, and I don't believe the taxpayer should be burdened with paying for outside counsel for individual council members who decide they want to have, at this particular case, representation. Also, there is a charter commission established at the end of November for the citizens to vote. If they want the charter commission, can address any one of these charter amendments, can be addressed by the residents, make their recommendations for charter changes. So I believe that's the process that's been set up in the past, and for all the county to have a say-so in this. So I believe that's the way the course we should take, so I vote no.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on the motion of whether Bill number 134 shall pass, the objections to the county executive thereto notwithstanding, there are 6 ayes and 1 no.
Bill number 134 is finally passed.
Item number 19, second district.
This bill is bill number 137, which was also vetoed. This bill establishes that appointed members of the Port Authority shall not serve on unexpired terms. The state statute that creates the Port Authority clearly gives the legislative branch of government, the county council, the opportunity to determine the function and structure of the Port Authority. This bill will essentially dissolve the current members of the current Port Authority Board until the members are either reappointed by the county executive and approved by the county council, or new members in their place are appointed. Receive and file, and shall Bill number 137 pass, the objections of the county executive therefore notwithstanding.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
No, and I'd like to explain that as well. There's a section of the Chart 11-0.60. All officers elected or appointed for definite terms under the provisions of this charter shall continue to hold office unless lawfully removed until their successors are duly elected or appointed and qualified, provided that no other officer may vote on the qualifications of his successor. So it clearly states that they stay in office until somebody else is appointed to fill their vacancy, or not their vacancy, but their unexpired term, or if they're reappointed. It's in our charter. So I vote no.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on the motion of whether Bill number 137 shall pass, the objections of the county executive thereto notwithstanding, there are 6 ayes and 1 no.
Bill number 137 is finally passed. I would also like to announce that the now former members of the Port Authority will be called to testify before the County Council Ethics Committee next Tuesday. We would like to have a better understanding of how the Port Authority makes decisions. We'd like to have a better understanding of how no-bid contracts are awarded for what apparently appears to be limited or no work, for individuals and organizations who also contribute large sums of money to the county executive's campaign. Next item.
Item number 27th district.
Receive, file, and refer to the county councilor, county assessor, Department of Planning, Department of Revenue, and the Board of Election Commissioners.
So ordered.
Item number 21, second district.
Receive, file, and the upgrade of liquor license type be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 22, fourth district.
Receive, file, and request for approval of the renewal with conditions be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 23, sixth district.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Back on item 20, I would like to add the county councilor's office to that charge.
The referral will also go to the county council's office. It's noted. That's also ordered. Thank you.
Item number 23, sixth district.
Receive, file, and the change of owner be approved as requested, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a second on that motion?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wassinger.
Thank you. All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 24.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. This should also include the accounts to receive the appropriation and the specific amounts to be appropriated into each account. And this will be the same motion through item number 28, and that will be the order.
Could you say that again, Mr. Chair?
Yes. Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. which will include the accounts to receive the appropriations and the specific amount of funds to be appropriated into each account. Same motion through item number 28, and that will be the order.
Item number 29.
See, following county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and that will be the order. Same motion for item number 30.
Item number 31, 5th District.
Same motion.
So ordered.
Item number 32, 2nd District.
Please hold on the order of business. Same motion. No, that will be the order.
Item number 33, 6th and 7th Districts.
Receive, file, and the county council will be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 34, 7th District.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 35, 7th District.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and the same for item 36.
So ordered.
Item number 37, 7th District.
Receive, file, and the reappointment to be approved. No, take that back, but let's hold on that.
So ordered.
I'm sorry, is the motion just to receive, file, and hold on the order of business, Mr.
Correct.
Chair? No add-ons this evening, Mr. Chair.
For the county executive.
Nothing further this evening.
Steve, when you were here a couple of months ago, you promised us a written report on your meeting with the governor. Is there anything you would like to tell us in lieu of that written report?
No, not really.
Could you tell us one thing you talked about with the governor?
Sam, I'm not going to engage you this evening with political shenanigans, so you can stop now. Thank you.
Do you remember anything you talked about with the governor? Because you did promise us a written report. So no report. Will we receive a written report?
As I said, Sam, I'm not going to engage you in political shenanigans tonight, so thank you.
It's following up on a promise to us, a shenanigan?
In your case, yes, thank you.
It's following up on any question, any council member, a commitment that you made in the past, is that a shenanigan?
Sam, you can move on, thank you.
Well, I'm disappointed. Public forum.
We have 11 speakers this evening, Mr. Chair.
First, when your name's called, please come to the podium and give your name and address for the record. Adjust the microphone so we can catch your comments. And please call the first speaker.
First speaker this evening is Aaron Gonzalez.
Hello, my name is Erin Gonzalez, and I reside at 4046 Domenico Court in Bridgeton. I'm also a 11-year employee of the Department of Justice Services. I want to start off by saying, one, that I'm happy to see you here tonight, Mr. Stenger, because every time I've spoken, I haven't had the opportunity to address you directly. So I do want to state that I did vote for you in the last election, and I also voted for Proposition P. But I'd like to address all the members of the council, as well as the public and the media here in the room. On May 29th, this county council met and voted to override the veto by County Executive Steve Stenger on Bill 54. This was to increase the Prop P raises for 55 Department of Justice Services employees who were not given a measurable increase on January 1st, like our colleagues who received a minimum increase of 16 to 22%. We were extremely grateful to the council for their hard work and dedication in getting this resolved. However, what most people don't realize is that we're still waiting for our increase. Where is it? Mr. Stanger, you stated that we deserve this increase. You agreed to support the increase, and the council has agreed to the increase. Yet here we are, 14 pay periods have passed this year, and we still have no results, despite everyone's agreement that this increase would happen. I know that my extra $1,565.69 may not seem like a lot to you, but for me, that's $111.84 more a pay period. That's the ability for me to pay off a medical bill quicker or to possibly get a second vehicle in a 3-driver household. The 2019 budget does not indicate an increase for us either. So what is this all about? Is this a political standoff move that has us caught in the middle? Was this just to appease us knowing that it would never go through? I know these questions are not what you want to answer and you don't want to hear, but quite frankly, I don't care anymore. I think that we have all been patient and have handled ourselves with professionalism in a stressful situation. We deserve the same consideration. Will the 2019 DJS budget be altered to reflect the changes? Will we finally get paid what was voted for and approved? Why has there been no action on this since May 29th? Why has DJS not increased the pay to the 55 employees? What will it take to make this happen? So if it does require a new bill, which I've had the opportunity to speak to some members of the council, and that's what they're saying, then are you going to introduce a new bill, Mr. Stanger? Because you did say you were going to approve this. Now it's been vetoed, it's been approved, and we're still waiting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I do appreciate your time. It just seems like this is a no-brainer since everybody has agreed to the increase and we're still waiting.
I just like to say something. I agree with you. I don't understand how this council passes a bill, passes legislation, and the county executive chooses not to acknowledge it.
Thank you.
Somehow there's something wrong with that, and I don't understand it, and I'm sorry, because I don't know what else to do. If it were me, I'd file a lawsuit, and I certainly would be at the polls on August the 7th.
Well, I think that's something that the majority of my coworkers would agree with. Thank you very much.
I would just like to recognize that your pay raises are owed to you, and they're accumulating, as far as I'm concerned, and I hope we do have resolution on this. One of the items that you'll be voting on August 7th is a charter amendment that allows the county council to transfer funds for supplemental appropriations or emergencies. And if the county executive doesn't move the money that's owed to you, then the county council could deal with it after August 7th. I do disagree that the health funds are the appropriate source to pay for raises of the justice service workers. They are Proposition P. They are public safety workers. The Proposition P fund has adequate money to pay you. The health fund does not have adequate money. We have an opioid epidemic in this region and in this country, and those funds, those scarce funds, the scarce funds in the health fund need to be directed towards the opioid epidemic and not to backfill money that's owed through Prop P, a fund that has enough to pay your raises.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Next speaker is Joseph Hoffman.
My name is Joseph Hoffman. I live at 6601 Higgy Road in Afton. And I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to speak tonight about the proposed rezoning of the property.
Could you pull the microphone a little closer?
I'm here to speak about the proposed rezoning of the property formerly known as Tower T in Afton. Afton is already one of the most densely populated areas in South County. Crestwood has 1,514 people per square mile. Kirkwood has 3,006 people per square mile. Webster Groves has 1,650 people per square mile. The county as a whole has 1,966 people per square mile. Afton already has 4,880 people per square mile, and it's getting denser. Right now, McBride is building another 38 home development on McKenzie Road, real close to Higgy Road, and we don't need another 158 homes on just 27 acres. Adding even more residents per square mile affects the quality of life. It increases traffic flow, it strains public utilities, just to name a few adverse effects. And in Afton, it also calls attention to a dramatic void of green space and parks in Afton. There just isn't that much in Afton. Tower T provided a large portion of that needed outdoor recreation, that outdoor park-like activity. And yes, it's closed now, but that doesn't mean that that land can't still be used for that type of a purpose. It's currently zoned a commercial sporting facility, and it should stay that way. Afton has a much greater need for outdoor recreational facilities than it has for more homes. Just 2 months ago, Fenton City Council turned down a proposal by McBride to rezone land from a parcel of land from 20,000 square foot lot size to 10,000 square foot lot size. And what McBride is proposing is much more densely populated than that. And it turned it down because, of course, Afton's council is made up of members of Fenton's council is made up of people who live in Fenton and are looking out for Fenton's interests. Afton, unfortunately, is unincorporated. We don't have a council of our own. We have you to look out for us, and we hope that you'll look out for the interests of the people of Afton and vote in the interests of the people of Afton, and consider yourself to be part of our community and look out for interests. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Kathy Day.
My name is Kathy Day, and I live with my husband, Tom, at 29 Frederick Lane in Glendale, Pat Dolan's district. Tom and I both oppose rezoning the Tower T property for residential development. I'm speaking tonight for both of us. Tom grew up in the Afton area. He played baseball at Heine Miney Field, worked for 5 years at Garner's Market, and went to grade school and high school in Afton. In the 1950s and 60s, he saw acre after acre of truck farms developed for residential use. Unlike the more affluent areas of St. Louis County, very little land in this Afton area was preserved for outdoor recreational use. If you look at a map of the area, you'll notice that the working class folks who by and large populate this area have very few public or even private outdoor recreational facilities. This differs greatly with the concentration of public and private facilities in our more affluent areas. We believe that the residential development of the Tower T area is short-sighted and a missed opportunity to provide those current and future residents a fair shake on issues related to the quality of life. Creve Coeur Park was preserved from unnecessary development. We believe the less affluent population of near South St. Louis County deserves equal consideration. Thank you.
Next speaker is Robert Hall.
Good evening. I'm Robert Hall. I live at 403 South Van Buren, Kirkwood, Missouri. Mr. Chairman, council members, county executive. First off, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here to speak in favor of the County Parks Charter Amendment. As many of you know, we've been working on this issue for about 2.5, 3 years, something like that. And it's an extremely important issue, and I think one of the reasons is that, well, the people who just spoke prior to me, talking about the safety and the safeguarding of land. The one thing we cannot create is land. We're not able to do that, which I haven't figured it out yet. But the one thing we can do is preserve the land we have and preserve the parks we have. Every council gets unbelievable pressures from a variety of different development, whatever it might be. And I certainly understand that. And one of the ways to keep yourself from being pressured or take you off the hook is to pass the County Parks Charter Amendment, which would prohibit the sale of land for a variety of different reasons. It's a rather lengthy thing, and I'm not going to go into all of it here. But it is something that's worthy of your consideration. All we're asking for, it's just enabling legislation to take it before the voters. I'm somewhat familiar with parks. I was your park director almost 20 years ago. I'm certainly familiar with the idea of enabling legislation. I helped to work on the legislation for the Greenway that everybody is enjoying right now. And it was strictly enabling, and we had a heck of a fight to get it through the legislature, but the people voted for it. And I can almost guarantee you, if you put this on the ballot, the people will vote for it, because it's apple pie and motherhood. You can't be against parks. So anyway, thank you very much for your time, and hope you can consider passing this legislation and giving the voters a chance to work on it. Thank you.
Thanks,
Next speaker is Robert Lupker Sr.
Good evening, board members. My name is Robert Lupker, and I'm with Robert F. Lupker Real Estate. I've been in real estate for 45 years. I'm a broker. I've been in, basically, I'm going to try to, this is my first time here. If you could bear with me, everything that I have to say is all new, okay? I basically found out from Gloria at when I was reading a Oakville Call. I take care of my mom. The last 14 years I've been semi-retired. She's going to be 95. She's got Alzheimer's. So I'm kind of out of the loop a little bit as a caretaker. Okay, so I actually was reading May's Oakville Call and found out that Sunday that they were going to have the concert. Okay, I love music. I know all the bands. I went over there for that. Actually, when I found out that they were going to have, that at the time they were going to have this auction and they were going to sell it off, I'd never been in Tower T before. I went in there and you have a jewel there. It's the most, you just don't know what you have. It can't be reproduced. Okay? I actually tried to find, I looked up Steve Lotz, and I basically went to him and I heard about the auction. I went up to him that night and I asked him to buy everything he had, name his price, before the auction. He said he wouldn't talk to me. I went there the next day. He said, come to the auction. Before the auction, I went there. I asked him again. I said, you're going to get a penny on a dollar selling it the way you are. I offered to buy it again. I would have paid him way more than he got. I know how much he got, and he was very unhappy. Okay, basically, I went to the auctioneer. I went to him and basically said, I'll buy every single thing. It was so hot that day, and I'm 66 years old. I can't take that heat. So I basically went there to purchase everything, told the auctioneer, every auction, I'll buy everything, okay? With the intent on preserving Tower T and keeping it the way it is, okay? I basically went and went to, my mind's going, okay? I basically went, let me go to my notes here. Okay. I just really want the board to know that Tower T is still there, okay? I basically also bought the pavilion, the 45-foot by 25-foot pavilion there to kind of show that it's still there. I actually am, they can't say I'm trespassing because I own the pavilion. They made a mistake when they sold it. You would need actually a building permit to take that down.
Okay. Can you go ahead and wrap up your comments for us? Okay.
The biggest thing that's bringing this up to now is that I talked actually to Alicia Ellisor today, who's the president of and general manager of KSDK. Okay, she basically told me that they're going to protect, you know, because the golf course is still there, everything is still there and can be put back together pretty quick. And they're actually board up the buildings. They don't intend to take nothing down. So if you turn this option down, which is the only thing that McBride has, we can go forward because I've offered to her and trying to get a hold of tenant or Tegna to buy the property with the intention on keeping it the way it is. She did give me the name of the real estate company that's handling it wasn't able to get hold of him. It's a Mark McNulty. He's at CBRE Real Estate Company, actually in Los Angeles is when I Googled it. You can Google his name and RE, and it comes up, and he's got his picture in his company. There's naming rights that can come up. I basically would have so many ideas. By somebody owning the property, they actually will be able to do capital improvements. They could add a country club there, a swimming pool. There's so many things, and how to own it, or if it's going to be a nonprofit where the profits will go back to that community. I'll do anything. I'm using my retirement money, and I guess the other thing that I saw while I was there is I've got it on film, is while the auctioneer was doing the auction, he basically he couldn't use his audio equipment, and he basically broke in and said, "I'm sorry, everybody, the tower EMF waves keep knocking out my Bluetooth." So people don't know how much. This is a 1,200-foot tower, and it also has guy wires that would cross there and drop ice on people. But it's the rays and stuff that's not good to live around. So basically, I'm saying it's KSDK bought that property, or that started in 1947. They probably purchased that property back in the early 40s for $1,000 farmland. So when they go to try to sell it at $4 million or so, they're basically going to take a darn big old, pay a lot of taxes. So you've basically heard with Cardinal or baseball people, where they do where they do their contracts and they put the money at the back end. So basically, they would be all open, I'm sure, for an installment sale to help out that. Okay, and
Robert,
in ending,
you're gonna have to wrap up.
Okay, in ending, it's basically, I said that it's not a good location. It's basically been wounded, but its Tower T is still there. And also, it should remain commercial because it's unsafe for housing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next speaker is Azora Liggins.
Good evening. Azora Liggins, 5320 Bermuda Road. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here again. Of course, everybody knows me by now. Mr. Stinger, Chairman Page, and the entire council. I was very concerned about, I did go out on the prosecuting attorney's website, and I did see that there was a posting where he talks about citizens have been criticizing his office. I don't know who that is referencing. I know I have been criticizing that office. I also know that there is a link to the policies and procedures in that office, but nothing's posted. So for the sake of transparency, I think they need to put the policies and procedures online. So then we wouldn't have to come to you people and ask for you to help us figure out what they should be doing in that office. Right now, I'm still not getting any help. I would urge everybody to read up on post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't come here because I want to. I come here because I have a need to find closure. And I have to find it from somewhere. I've hand-delivered letters to Mr. Stinger on Friday. Did you receive that, Mr. Stinger, a hand-delivered letter that came to your office?
I don't believe I did, no.
It was hand-delivered to your secretary. She signed for it. Are you not getting your communications?
I didn't get that one. It may be somewhere in that office, but I'll look for it.
I need some help, and I hope that you understand in 2014 when you took off, when you first came out and said that if you made executive, you was going to bridge the divide. Okay, well, the ribbon cutting did not represent bridging the divide. How did you feel about that? Because I didn't hear you speak out on it. So is this what we do, politics? You don't answer Mr. Page and you don't answer me, or I don't understand what's going on. My life is at stake here. I've came here, you got committees. Everybody has all this work to do and nobody's doing any work. So I need the help. I need hopefully the recommendation of this council to the prosecuting attorney's office to do their job. I don't think that's asking too much. As a taxpayer, I don't think it's asking anything. But you say we have to vote in the right people, so if we don't vote them in, we're not going to get any service. Is there anybody up here that can answer that question? So we sit the next 3 minutes?
That's 3 minutes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Azora.
Do I get to keep my 3 minutes?
Your time is up.
Is it up?
Yes, ma'am. Should I call the next speaker, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
Next speaker is Charles Bell.
Good evening. I'm Charles Bell. I'm a long-time resident of Webster Groves and with an office in Clayton. And I frequently enjoy sailing, walking, picnicking in St. Louis County parks. I endorse Bill 155 to protect St. Louis County parks from special interests. Last year, I and hundreds of other members of a dozen professional and environmental organizations and 20,000 user advocates defended Creve Coeur Lake Memorial Park against the Legacy Ice development. Let me recap for you. Creve Coeur Lake Park is St. Louis County's first, largest, oldest, busiest, valuable, and environmentally sensitive park. Yet Steve Stenger, Sheila Sweeney, and inside developers had deceptively manipulated St. Louis County Parks and the council and the Missouri Department of Natural Resources to construct a massive special interest ice skating complex in a public park floodplain. This was environmentally foolish, physically dangerous, and a federal violation. Political influence, special interest, and financial motivations were layers deep here. Most citizens were shocked by this runaway public-private partnership betrayal. And the developers had not even done their homework, playing only to their self-interest, defying public welfare and the National Parks Directive. They spent and wasted millions of dollars preemptively planning and destroying 40 acres of parkland before they were shut down by the federal government. This site now stands as a shameful monument to the failure of top-down special interest and corruption, a testament on how not to run a county park system. This failed project is an excellent example why this proposed bill is so important. Without this bill, this could all happen again. St. Louis County Parks has had a good history, has excellent parks, and now has a new comprehensive master plan with the wisdom to continue. And citizens of St. Louis County will continue to visit, enjoy, and support the parks if they aren't betrayed by political corruption and special interest. Let's approve Bill 155.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Gail Taylor.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Page and council members, for allowing me to speak today. Although I've attended a number of the meetings, this is my first time speaking and I'm pretty nervous. My name is Gail Taylor. My address is 7901 New Hampshire in Afton, Missouri, 63123. Actually, I live at the tail end of the Tower T driving range and have for 30 years this year. I have many concerns about the possible rezoning of the Tower T property, but I will only address two. Due to the amount of bedrock that is the Tower T property, I am concerned about the need to blast the property to accommodate building of homes. That means my home and my neighbors are at great risk for who knows what kind of damage to our homes and foundations. Also in the area that are at risk to suffer damage are the Ameren UE substation, the tall Channel 5 tower, the chemical plant that is involved with homeland security, and the very busy railroad tracks and overpasses that run very close to the Tower T property. Being a single homeowner and on a very fixed budget, I worry about being able to maintain my home today and in the future, not taking into consideration the possibility of damage caused by the blasting of the bedrock that may be visible today and years down the road. My second concern is for the wildlife in the area. Anyone who played on Tower T and the homeowners in this area can tell you the stories of the deer wandering around Tower T and all our neighborhood, and I've often wondered if the deer were ever hit by a golf ball. It's amazing to watch the deer in the evening from my patio, lounging on the range at sunset and seeing them in silhouette. It's too beautiful to describe. I do feed the deer, and I provide water for them. I enjoy talking to them. I call them my beauties and occasionally take photos of them, which I would like to share with the council. I never intend to make them or try to make them tame, but I also feed the birds and other critters as a result, and as long as the deer are around, they can enjoy corn and water at my home. If rezoning would occur, where would these animals go, or would anyone care other than those of us who care for and about them? So in closing, please consider that large corporations are always buying more land to build homes everywhere you look. But once you take the green space that is becoming less and less, you can't take it back for a very long time, if ever. Afton does not have any more green space. Please don't take our green space. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Tim Day. Dan, do you want to take your photos? Dan?
Watch your step. Watch your step. My name's Tim Day. I live at 7329 Nottingham, 63119. I'm here to talk about Tower T. Councilman Dolan, you went to the 4th of July parade in Webster Groves this year?
Yes.
While you were there, did someone approach you and ask you to save Tower T, and did you reply that it was a done deal?
To clarify that, what I said was the sale of the property was done. We have nothing to do with that.
But you would concur that the rezoning is not a done deal?
There hasn't been any rezoning brought to this council or to the
Well,
planning and
there
zoning.
was one that was proposed and it was postponed last year.
It didn't come to this council.
But you're aware that it was proposed and you saw that proposal?
There was a proposal that was pulled from the planning and zoning last October, November, something like that.
Right, okay. And then in December, I remember you said you were going to hold a town hall to kind of before that process, and you were going to explain the process. And we're here 8 months later. We're here 8 months later, and we haven't had that town hall.
Well, has it come to planning and zoning yet?
But you can still
No, it
hold,
hasn't.
you can
So
still
I haven't
engage.
had a town hall yet because there's nothing to have a town hall about until it comes to
You
planning
can
and zoning.
you can still engage the community. There's still
I
thousands of
engage the
people.
community daily.
Okay. I mean, when I contacted you, I didn't get a reply for several days, and then I got one from your assistant, and then I didn't get anything from you, so.
Well, you got a response from my office.
Regarding one of your opponents in the upcoming election, Lisa Clancy, tweeted out, Regarding Tower T, there's another issue here. Both Stenger and Dolan count McBride or associates as campaign contributors. Do you dispute that, or can you confirm or deny that?
Well, this is not a political debate, but along with almost everybody on this council, they can speak for themselves. 4.5 years ago, I received a campaign contribution, yes.
Okay. Well, I bring it up because I also remember a few weeks ago, you abstained when everyone else voted to investigate Stenger, and you abstained and said you needed time to review it, and then a week later you voted no. So did you not have a problem with the $365,000 campaign contribution to something that then turned into they benefited from county offices being moved that ended up costing taxpayers money? You didn't see a problem with any of that?
This is not a political rally here. The reason I abstained.
Well, this is my chance to get answers from you.
I was handed a 115-page document an hour and a half before the meeting.
And you abstained.
If you lived in the council district, I wouldn't be representing you fairly by voting on something I didn't get a chance to look at.
A week later, you voted no, though. So did you read it?
I got a chance to look at it.
Okay. And then I just wanted to close with, I think if we had real leadership, you would be engaging the community and you would be finding common ground with the new development and the residents. We need real leadership, and we can get real leadership on August 7th.
Well, I'm engaged with the entire 5th District and St. Louis County.
Next speaker.
Next speaker is Mitch Leachman.
Good evening. My name is Mitch Leachman, and I live at 2728 Lakeport in Maryland Heights. I am speaking tonight in support of Bill Number 155, 2018, Parks Protection Charter Amendment, and I'm speaking on behalf of the St. Louis Audubon Society. Our nonprofit charity includes over 3,000 members across the metro area. Approximately 1,500 of them live in St. Louis County. Public parklands are held in trust by the government for the benefit of all of its citizens. Public parklands are critical to a healthy environment and society. From active recreation to education to meditation, they support a wide array of interests and the personal benefits gained from those activities. From heat sinks to stormwater management to noise attenuation and biodiversity banks, they are essential as part of a network of green spaces that provide ecosystem services and keep our community livable. Speaking of biodiversity, birds, bats, frogs, and toads all eat insects, at least some of which we consider pests. A vibrant park system can help ensure healthy populations of them all, reducing the number of insect pests, some of which carry disease, without the need to chemically fog our neighborhoods. Pollinators are essential to our food supply. Bees alone pollinate 75% of the fruits, nuts, and vegetables across the United States. Public parkland and green space provide critical habitat for many of the hundreds of varieties of pollinators in our region. Those same trees and plants that support insect-eating birds and food-pollinating insects also improve water quality, generate oxygen, absorb air pollutants, cool our communities, and even provide natural noise barriers. Further, those birds, butterflies, and other critters in our parklands are of interest simply for what they are. Wildlife watching is the most popular outdoor interest in the country as surveyed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service through their 2016 National Survey of Fishing, Hunting, and Wildlife-Associated Recreation. An estimated 24 million people aged 16 and up participate in wildlife watching away from home, nearly 10% of that age group. For St. Louis County, that could mean over 70,000 people seeking places away from home to simply be with nature. For these and many reasons, public parkland is an essential part of our community and integral to our life support system. So it seems to St. Louis Audubon only right and just that our community be given direct control in deciding if any of that life-giving parkland should be sold, disposed of, or significantly altered. And I have one last sentence. I'm going to run out of time. We urge the council support Bill number 155 to place on this November's ballot a county charter amendment that would prohibit the sale, disposal, or significant alteration of public parkland without approval from county voters. Thank you for your time, your service, and attention to this matter.
Thanks, Mitch.
Final speaker this evening is Gary Bass.
Ladies and gentlemen of the council, thank you for hearing my comments tonight. I, like a number of the previous speakers, am here to speak in support of a county park protection amendment to our charter. There's several concerns that I expressed in an earlier committee meeting and in a mailing to you before the meeting, and I'd like to share those with you for the record right now. Number one, I would make two primary changes to the proposed language. The first, there's a provision that would provide for the sale or lease of any park under 15 acres would go to a vote of the council district within which the park was located. Our parks were purchased with the revenue from every county residence, not from a particular district. Our parks are utilized by people from every county district. County council districts change every 10 years and will do so in the next 2 years. I would propose eliminating the 15-acre restriction and putting any sale or lease of a park for non-customary park uses to a vote of the entire St. Louis County voters. I would also remove the language in the document that restricts the years that we can lease property. Right now, the restriction is for 10 years. In order to allow us to compete for private investment in public parks, a longer term, in my opinion, is necessary. And that can be regulated by this council. This will give us the flexibility to get the best business deal for private investment in our parks, and a good example is our golf courses. While controversial to many, few investors would invest millions of dollars to build a golf course if they only had a guarantee to run it for 10 years. By negotiating a deal, we would be able to enhance that investment. If you have any questions, I'm available. And thank you for your time.
Gary, if we adopt the changes that you're suggesting to eliminate the boundaries on leases at 10 years, would that allow a proposal like the Creve Coeur Ice Complex to move forward without voter approval?
Well, ice rinks are, what stopped Creve Coeur Park was the fact that the park had 6F restrictions from the National Park Service. If you look at public opinion on whether there should be a ice rink in Creve Coeur Park, based upon the public meeting we held in these chambers, based upon SurveyMonkey results, based upon emails, the demand for the ice rink was 60-40. So to answer your question, what this would do, since rinks are customarily part of a park system, would be allowed. But even if it went to a vote of the people, in my opinion, it would have been approved anyway.
So it's your opinion that if the council accepts your proposed changes, that a complex that was offered, such as the ice complex in Creve Coeur Park, would still require a vote of St. Louis County voters?
Based upon my understanding of the legislation, there would not be a vote necessary for the construction of an ice rink in a park, notwithstanding the 6F restrictions. So it would not require a vote.
So I'm not talking about a generic ice rink, I'm talking about a massive
yes.
project that we considered here before the council. A project such as that nature, if we accepted your suggested amendments to the charter that we're proposing, the charter amendments we're proposing, would that allow a complex such as the one that was previously proposed to move forward without a vote of all of the St. Louis County voters?
I think the key word in that discussion is how the word commercial is defined. If that would have been construed as a commercial enterprise, then it would require a vote of the people.
So you understand.
And I'm not an attorney, Councilman,
Right,
so.
so, and I think we still have some language to work out, but you understand the reason why that I'm bringing this forward, and I was asked to bring this charter amendment forward, is because of our disappointment with the way that project was managed before the county. And it's our hope that projects such as the ice complex that was offered in Creve Park would require a vote of the people before it was moved forward in the county. And we wouldn't want any amendments to this proposed charter amendment. We wouldn't want any changes to this proposed charter amendment that would obstruct the chance of St. Louis County voters to vote on something such as the massive complex that was offered to us in Creve Park.
I can certainly understand that, and I'm more than willing to sit down and discuss the issue. I think we can come up with language to accomplish this, and as I stated when I started, a park protection amendment is not a good thing, it's a great thing.
As long as it protects everything that we hope to protect.
Right. I'll win.
Right, okay, thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
Mr. Best, I don't have any questions for you with regard to the proposed amendment, but since you're here, I do have a question that relates to the year-to-date budget report that was submitted by the budget director, Mr. Kreidler. As I read the report, it indicates that to date, your department has expended about $10,400,000 out of a total revised budget of about $29.5 million. That's 38%. Do you agree with that?
Right.
Okay. And that 38% and what you've expended includes the $300,000 that you've transferred for park equipment?
Right.
Okay. And that transfer was made despite this body's preference that you purchase that equipment through borrowing to spread the cost over the life of the equipment. My question is, can this body reasonably expect that since you've only expended 38% of your budget, that you will come in under budget this year?
No.
And why not?
As I mentioned, there are some projects that aren't showing as encumbered at this point. In other words, projects that are planned and underway that don't show up on the monthly accounting report. As I mentioned earlier, we review those reports on a monthly basis at this point. This morning, I met on this. At the end of the budget year, we will have $86,000 left.
So then at least the budget you were given this year certainly wasn't impacted by the reduction to your budget that the council made last November.
The budget that I was given this year eliminated $4.5 million for the renovation of the Greensfelder Recreation Center. So yes, it was impacted.
Okay. That's all I have.
So if we're able to maintain a robust balance in the park fund, then that gives us flexibility in our public-private partnerships to have more county participation and less loss of control over the public-private partnerships, some of the things we talked about earlier.
That's certainly one approach. I mean, we believe we have $11 million in our reserve fund. What we did is use that, in essence, as a savings account so we could generate sufficient funds to do major projects like the Greensfelder Rec Center. A note I haven't shared with you, another result of our master plan has indicated we have $90 million in deferred capital maintenance items If you think about our park system, the last bond issue that we passed, a major bond issue, was 1969. So we haven't been able to spend significant dollars on capital items, roads, bridges, buildings, etc. So the $11 million will certainly help address a lot of those problems. We'd love to spend it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
other questions? Thanks a lot. This concludes our public forum. We'll move to introduction of bills.
Bill number 156, introduced by Councilmember Harder, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Union Pacific Railroad Company in conjunction with the Allen Road Bridge number 329 project, CR-1274. Bill number 157, introduced by Councilmember Page, an ordinance amending Chapter 616, Title 6, St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 as amended County Parks, Parkways, and Recreational Areas by repealing and reenacting Section 616.230 pertaining to various user fees and assessments related to use of county park facilities and services. Bill number 158, introduced by Councilmember Page, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Continental Maintenance Contractors, Inc., doing business as Icon Window Cleaning for 17 county buildings. Bill number 159, introduced by Councilmember Page, an ordinance authorizing St. Louis County to participate in the energy loan program of the Missouri Department of Economic Development Division of Energy, and authorizing the county executive to execute a loan agreement and promissory note to provide funds to finance the installation or construction of energy conservation measures, authorizing execution of related documents. Mr. Chair, that is all the bills.
Thank you. Perfection.
Bill number 133, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Mr. Council,
Yes.
I wanted to interject here. I just noticed that our county executive has left the building. Just want to remind the county council that on 6/5, June 5th, at that discussion we had over the report, and I pulled up the journal of that meeting, and I'll read it verbatim what went on. Chairman Page says, "Good, let's see where we were able to meet with the governor today. I saw that in the news that you had a meeting scheduled." The executive said yes. Chairman Page says, "Could you give us a brief report on what was discussed with the governor? I mean, we all recognize that our relationship with the new governor is important to St. Louis County." The executive said, "Sure, I'll tell you what, let me put together something and I'll send it to you in a written report." And the chairman said, "Okay." So I just want to remind that that was in the minutes of that meeting for reference.
Yeah, that was 6 weeks ago, and I think it's clear to all of us that the county executive does not take seriously any sort of communication with the county council, either written or verbal.
If I could add that if we want a report, I'll call the governor this week and see if he has anything in his minutes.
Thank you.
I would like a report.
Bill number 133.
Bill number 133, introduced by Councilmember Page.
We are working on a substitute for this bill. It's not quite ready. So this bill, I'll move to hold this bill, and this bill will be held on the agenda.
Bill number 136, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger.
Yes, this is the procurement and purchasing bill, updating our policies and continuing to hold that and meet with interested parties on that.
Bill number 136 is held, and I just want to say thanks. I know there's a lot of people concerned about this, and I appreciate your patience and everyone's patience in trying to communicate with everyone to make sure we get a good bill. We do understand that the procurement code in St. Louis County definitely needs to be updated, and we've seen a lot of the effects of that lack of an update over the past couple of years. Bill number 139.
Bill number 139, introduced by Councilmember Page.
This bill will be held on the order of business as well, and that will be the order.
Bill number 140, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Please hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Bill number 143, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
I will hold this bill, number 143.
Bill number 143 is held.
Bill number 146, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move to perfect Bill number 146.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 146 is perfected.
Bill number 147, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger.
I move to perfect Bill number 147.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 147 is perfected.
Bill number 148, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move to perfect Bill number 148, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 148 is perfected.
Bill number 149, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move to perfect Bill number 149.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 149 is perfected.
Bill number 150, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger.
I move to perfect Bill number 150.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 150 is perfected.
Bill number 151, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move to perfect Bill number 151.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 151 is perfected.
Bill number 152, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move to perfect Bill number 152.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 152 is perfected.
Bill number 153, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger.
I move to perfect Bill number 153.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 153 is perfected.
Bill number 155, introduced by Councilmember Page.
This pertains to the charter amendment requiring that long-term leases and sale of park property be brought before the voters of St. Louis County. We had a good and constructive hearing on this bill this afternoon, and the county council is going to work on language that's acceptable. Until then, this bill is held, and that will be the order. Final passage.
Bill number 305, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
Chairman, what I'd like to do is move this bill to drop it at this point. And the reason being, I'm going to be working on a different number of bills that will put through some consumer protections as well as provide competition for providers in the coming months. So right now, I'd like to move to drop this, and you'll see other stuff coming down later.
Thank you. Bill number 305 is dropped, and I know you've been working on this issue for a long time, and I would encourage you to continue doing so.
Thank you.
Bill number 353, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move to hold Bill number 353, and 353 is held.
Bill number 116, introduced by Councilmembers Tracus, Wassinger, and Page.
Move for the final passage of Bill number 116, please.
Second.
Roll call.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Second.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 116, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 116 is finally passed.
Bill number 138, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move for final passage, Bill number 138.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 138, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 138 is finally passed.
Bill number 141, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move for final passage of Bill 141, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 141, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 141 is finally passed.
Bill number 142, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move for final passage, Bill number 142.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 142, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 142 is finally passed.
Bill number 144, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
Move for final passage of Bill number 144.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby? Aye. Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on bill number 144, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 144 is finally passed.
Bill number 145, introduced by Councilmembers Walton Gray and Erby.
I move for final passage of bill number 145.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on bill number 145, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 145 is finally passed.
Bill number 154, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move for final passage of bill number 154, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on bill number 154, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 154 is finally passed.
Moving on to resolutions, we have one this evening, Mr. Chair. Resolution number 1, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Please hold on the order of business, and Resolution 1 will be held.
Moving on to unfinished business, item number 1, 3rd District.
Hold on the order of business, please.
So ordered.
Item number 2.
Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 3, 1st District.
Receive, file, and the new liquor license be approved as requested.
Second. Roll call. Sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 4, 6th District.
Receive, file, and the new liquor license be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And under new business, we have 2 prepared orders this evening, Mr. Chair.
I move for adoption of orders number 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Orders 1 and 2 are adopted. Any comments by any council members? Yes.
Yes, just in case there's some concern or question about my resolution not being heard today, we did a little research on the website, and it was determined that the auditor has a risk assessment plan, and we are going to see what happens with that and proceed sometime in the future. It's a resolution. The resolution regarding sexual harassment claims.
Okay, any other comments? Seeing none?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you.